Very good morning to all. The topic of this webinar is 3D designing and 3D printing for effective prototyping. In this webinar, you all will learn the basic of 3D designing and 3D printing that will help you to develop your own prototype. In this webinar, I'm going to use two softwares. The first one is Auto Fusion 360 for 3D designing, and on the another hand, we need another software that is Ultimate Cura as our 3D printing slicing software. So before going into depth, we have to just understand what is prototype. So as you can see, a prototype is an early sample, model, or release of a product built to test a concept or process. And it is a term used in variety of contexts, including semantics, design, electronics, and software programming. A prototype is generally used to evaluate a new design to enhance perception by system, analyst, and user. Prototyping serves to provide specification for a real working system rather than a theoretical one. And in some design workflow models, creating a prototype is a step between the formalization and evaluation of an idea. Now we understood what is prototyping. So next is what is rapid prototyping. So we can say that yeah, rapid prototyping is kind of fast prototyping. So rapid prototyping is a group of technique used to quickly fabricate a scale model of a physical part or assembly using three-dimensional computed aided design. We call it CAD data. And construction of a part or assembly is usually done by 3D printing or additive layer manufacturing technology. So now we have some idea about what is prototype and what is prototyping and what is rapid prototyping. So we can also interested in types of prototype. So you can see first is like paper prototype, and you can clearly see the image also. A prototype is called a paper prototype, which is created in the form of rough or hand sketch drawings of the product's interface, maybe front end design or back end design. After the paper prototype, we have 3D print prototype. So this prototype is printed using the 3D printer, and we are going to learn this stuff in our webinar. After that, we have a digital prototype also. So this prototype allows a developer to create a virtual model of the product which enable them to see how individual component will work. So before you want to do 3D print, so we have to do the digital prototype also. So we are going to learn the digital prototype in this webinar also. And the last, we can say that yeah, we have a scale model prototype. So this scale model prototype is a smaller and a non-functional model commonly used for prototyping large products like buildings. So I think you have already seen these kind of scale models of your university, colleges, and school. Now we can switch to 3D designing. But before that, we have to select any stuff that we want to make as a prototype. So I have selected something so that everyone will be connected. So you can see the image of a phone. Yeah, this is Samsung, as said. So these kind of images are very useful if you want to make any prototype. You can clearly see that you will get the dimensions here like 68.1 mm. So you will get the front view, even you can get the side view also. So I have decided that I will make a prototype of the back cover of this phone. So you will get the dimension of any phone from the internet. So I have just noted down all the dimensions. Now I will switch to my software, that is Autodesk Fusion 360. So this is a 3D designing software that we are going to use in this webinar. So before that, so this is our software. Okay, we will select the new project. So have you just look at this image. All the dimensions are in millimeters. So before starting this designing in this software, make sure that your dimension should be in millimeter. So you can change from here like centimeter, millimeter, meter, inch of. So I have already selected is by default is millimeter. So we can now start to make the 3D design. So before making 3D design, we know that we have to sketch something. So same stuff is there. We have to sketch the design first. So you can see there is a, you can see it's written create sketch. So you have to click on that. So this new thing is there. So now you have to decide that you have to create the model, 3D model, and you are going to make it from which view. And here you can see it's top view, front view, or right view. So I will select top view because I want to create this model so it will look like from the top view. So I have selected, I will explain you later what is the difference between top view, right view, and the front view. So I have selected the top. Now if you see the image, it's just like a rectangle. So here we have to just select rectangle. So they are different kind of rectangle, 2-point rectangle, 3-point rectangle, and center rectangle. So we will just select 2-point rectangle. So we have to click the origin or any place, and you can see you can have the dimensions here. So you have to just put the dimension. So you can see from here the dimension is like 148.9. So I will put 149, and we have 68.1. So I will put the exact one. So here just write 149. After writing 149, just press the tab key and you will see lock here. So the dimension is locked and it is 68.1. Again tab, enter. So just finish the sketch. So just when you click on the home button, you will, now I told you that this is from the top. If you look from the front, so this is the front view of your model, just the sketch. And if you rotate, and this is the right view. So we have to select the top model. So this is just the rectangle. This is just the 2D image. So we have to convert into 3D. So we have to add one extra dimension we call like thickness. So you can go to the image back and it's written 8 mm is the thickness of your phone. So there's an option here extrude. Just click on this option extrude and your sketch. Then it will ask how much thickness you want to give. So we will can write it's 8 mm. Now you can see we got something in 3D. It doesn't look like a mobile back cover, but still it's 3D. So what we have to do next, we have to make a shell so that it look more like a back cover so that we can fit our mobile phone inside this. So just there's a command here shell. So we have to select shell and this body. So in this we have to just put the number, the thickness of the wall. So because it will be like a shell empty from inside. So we have to give the thickness of the wall. So I will just write 2 mm. So now you can see, I will show you from the inspect tool. Inspect this and this. It's 2 mm. So even you can see this one, this. So the thickness of the wall is now 2 mm. Just think in the beginning. It should be 68.1 millimeter. This is the dimension of your phone, and the height is 148.9. But now it's reduced because we have added the walls on the each side. So this is reduced. If you just look at this, and I will rotate this. So this is not 68.1 now. It's 64.10 millimeter because 2 millimeter from this side, 2 millimeter from this side are added. So it's 64.1, so we have to increase this. So the good feature of this software is that you can go back, and we will go back and we will go to sketch again, edit sketch. So we have to add 4 millimeter to each dimension. Now it's 72.1, and we have to add, sorry, it's 72.1. Okay, then here we have to add for this, so it will be 153. Finish. So you can see, if we measure again, we will get the exact dimensions from here to here inside, because we are going to put the phone inside. If we just zoom and just rotate, yeah, it should be 149, because the size, the dimension of our phone is 149 millimeter. So we are all okay, but there's still one mistake is there. How? Because we have added 4 millimeter to, let's say, length and breadth. We are still, we had to add 4 not 4, 2 to the thickness, because there is no upper side. So we can go back and we can edit this feature, because it should be 8, but 2 is deducted because we have used the shell command, so it should be 10 now. Okay, just press OK. Now you can see, you can always use this, inspect this and this. Now it's 8 before that it was 8. Then after that we have used the shell command, it was reduced to 6 now we have again added 2 so it's now 8 no, which is perfect for our phone dimension. So we are done with our phone dimensions. So what next? Next, if you see another image of your phone, this one, so we have something here also. We should have the space for the flash, fingerprint scanner, also camera and heartbeat sensor. So I have already measured these dimension here. You can measure using even the ruler or vernier caliper. So I have used the vernier caliper. So now we have to work on the back of the phone. So just rotate here this and again click to the sketch and select the surface. Yeah, it's like same thing. You are doing like sketching this, the sketch on the phone. So what we have to create? We have to create a rectangle on the back. So so I have just measured the stuff. So the length is like 14 millimeter. Then you have to press tab so that it will be logged, and breadth is like 31.1. Press enter. So this is something like we want the place for our camera and all stuff, but you can see that it's not placed correctly. So there's a command also, like you can, what you can do, just click on this sketch dimensions. So when you select this line and this line, so it will give you something that you can write the dimension, so that how far it's placed from the left side, right side. So I will put 18.5 here, and you can do from same here also, this and this. So it looks okay. You can use this one also. So we have the position for our camera. Now again we have to add more dimensions, more, so that it should be properly placed. So it's placed like 17 from the top. So I have added 17 So we have the exact location for the, yeah, these are not that exact dimension. Yeah, you can just measure the stuff using the vernier caliper or the ruler, so you can say. So just finish the sketch. So just think that like we have the place for this. Now what you want to do, like we want to extrude this stuff so that we can use our camera fingerprints. So there is another, it's the same command we are going to extrude. We have to select this, and it will tell you where you want to extrude. So I want to remove this. So if you do like this, it will cut, and even in the operation, it will say cut, join, intersect, new body, new. So I will say cut. I want to cut this. So you can see we have this cut here. So you can use your camera, your fingerprint, anything from here. So after that, I will tell you why I have selected. If you click on the edit feature, why I have given -10 here. This is not a good practice to give the dimension here, because just imagine that if I've given 2, just like -2. So I don't know, if you don't know about the thickness, so it will not properly cut. If you like it's -1, so it would not exactly cut. So what we have to do, the good stuff is that the good practice is that when you select this feature, there is extend to the object. So you will have to tell up to which surface you want to cut or extrude this feature. So I have just selected this surface, so it will be done. So it means that if I increase or decrease the thickness of this surface, so it automatically updated according to that surface. That's why it's to the object. Now we got the place for this. After that, there are some feature on the left right side also, like you can have places for your volume. So we will select this and we will sketch directly. You can directly sketch. So we have a rectangle here. Okay, so just give the thickness of the rectangle. I will give the thickness is like 3, and length I have just roughly measured 23. Sorry, it's 3. Then press always tab, then 23. So I have this space. Press OK. So this is for the volume. Again, there's another button for like Bixby. Again, select this. The size is like 2.5, or just let thickness will be remains 3, and size is 12. Okay, so we have these two buttons. So still they are not in a symmetry. So what we can do, again we can use sketch. We want this like 2.5, so it will be in something in middle. This 2.5. So these are like, yeah, you can change according to your dimension, your phone. And we need the distance between these two should be near about 7.1. So these are all like placed. So what you want to do, yeah, again you want to remove this portion, so you have to select both together, extrude. Again, don't give the dimension here, always select two object. So rotate this, so I have to select the object, this, so it will automatically cut this. So now you have a place for your volume and for your Bixby button. Again, same other hand, we have a place for our power button. So you have to just again make a rectangle. When you select the rectangle, so just give the dimensions. Again, select the dimensions. So the position from the top is 46.2. Okay, and the dimension of this is 12.0, and dimension of this to this is near again 2.5, because we need the symmetry. So we have the for volume, just select this, extrude. Again you have to select to the object, and you have to select the object. Now we are done. Again, same you can do for your antenna here, and for the volume we are already done with the volume. For the microphone you can do here. For the charging port you can do for here, so it's easy. So next we get that new feature is that it doesn't look nice because it look more like a box. So there is a feature that you can use fillet. So select the edge and you can give, I will show you. So select the feature fillet and when you click here, yeah, you can see it's going like this. So just give like 2 mm or like 3 for all the 3 edges which is left. So just select this fillet 3, again select this edge. There's a shortcut also, you can select F3. So everybody can do this stuff. So if you want to make a prototype of a back phone cover, yeah, you can use it. So it looks like this. And if you want to make this little bit like, so you can always select fillet here also. There you can see, yeah, it looks like this. So yeah, I will select 5 again. I will select 5 from here also. So yeah, you can see, yeah, it look more like a back cover now. So next, if you want to customize it, like you want to write your own name or the company name, anything. Again, you want to sketch before you want to do anything. Just create sketch, and you will to select the surface. I have selected it. I want to write something, so just go to create, then text, and write here. So what do you want to write? So I will write S8, only S8. So, so it's S8. So you can just move like this and you can increase this like height also, like you can write 20 is the height. Even if you click X, you can, there's a lot of fonts, you can change font like Arial black, okay, okay, and you can again move, you can change the location, okay. So we have asset. So again, if you want to just exclude this, you can select this. So either you can remove or either you can just engrave. So I will just going to remove this, again extend to the object rather than to give the dimension this object, okay. So this is like asset. So we have made a prototype of a phone asset. So what is, so you can add color to this. So I have selected appearance. So in appearances, look at this, we have a different material also. So this will be like of plastic, so we have to select plastic. When you click plastic, so just ABS. So I design, give the color. So it's, now it's a white color, you can see from inside also. So it's white. So now what you can do, if you want to present this prototype to some company, yeah, you can change the color also. Go to this, edit. So like this, you want to like put yellow, orange, done. So we have a prototype of a smartphone cover asset which you have created. So after this, the next step is that you want to 3D print this. So 3D print this, there are two options you can do. You go to file and you can directly print 3D print. Just select the 3D print and you have to select all object and you can see the software is already selected Cura. When you click on OK, it automatically goes to Cura and you can start working on that Cura. And another option is that go to file, then we have to export. But before exporting, we have to save this. So we'll save as phone cover. We have saved phone cover, save. Then again we have to go to export. So phone cover one version is okay. We are saving here. So we have to save as .htl file. .htl file so that we can work this model in Cura. So you have to press to export. So now you can see the screen come and it start exporting, and you will see finish when it's completely finished. So now you can see that our STL file is generated. You can click the file explorer. So you can see our model is ready so that we can use this phone cover STL file in Cura. So we have used this feature shell in our previous design when we were making a prototype of phone cover. So I will show you something different there. So just make a cube, uh, dimension 50, and tab 50, enter. Then again we can exclude and again 50. So it's a cube. So when we going to use shell, there are two things. So if we use inside like we did there inside, so when I give the thickness of the wall like it's 2 mm, let's press OK. Then you can see the dimension of inner will be reduced 2 from each side. So 46, like we have seen when we were making the prototype of our phone cover. So it's, yeah, in the beginning people usually do that. So it's not a good practice. So what I will recommend, go to this edit feature and press outside and give 2 again. So in this you can see that the dimension that you gave will remain same like 50. Even you can, if you want to see the height, again the height is also 50. Go to inspect again, this and this, it's 50. So there is no need to change the dimension like we did in our design. So when you just want to use any feature like here, yeah, you can see this option like inside, outside and both. So I recommend you to use outside. If you want to use inside, then you have to change the dimensions again and again because it depends upon the thickness. So always use outside, so your inner dimension will always remain same. Ultimate Cura, it's a slicing software because the model that we create in 3D designing software like Autodesk AutoFusion 3D, so it will not directly send to 3D printer. So we need an intermediate that will convert your model into some code that 3D printer can understand. So there are some 3D printer that directly works with .stl file, and there are some 3D printer which we have to convert that STL file into G code so they can understand. They have to print. So this is Ultimate Cura, you can see. So when you just install this software, first you have to select the printer you are going to use. So like we have selected enter 3, and you can add new printer here, manage your print. So what's the benefit of adding a new printer or adding the exact printer that you are going to use? Because main is the bed size and the height that printer can print. So if I selected a wrong printer, suppose that the printer that I have selected, the maximum size that it can print is just like 400 millimeter, but the printer that I have, it's like it can print just 200 millimeter. So if I make the design of 400 millimeter and I try to print in a small printer of 200 millimeter height, yeah, it will not print. So that's why you have to select the exact 3D printer. So that's why we have selected Ender 3 printer. So the bed size is according to that printer. So this is the space that you can see is the exact of Ender 3. And second, after that you have to select the material. You have to select the material that you want to use. Material, I am talking about the filament with which the material your model will be made. So there are so many materials like PLA. If you go like PLA, ABS, nylon, even you can use carbon fiber, wooden filament also. So the idea behind selecting the material is that the temperature, the heating temperature of that filament, because the heating temperature of all the filaments are different, and the bed temperature also, because they require different stuff. So we have selected PLA. I'm going to use PLA, and you have to select the nozzle size of your 3D printer. So it's like 0.4, it's already selected, so you have to select according to your model of the printer. So now you can see that we have the same model in Cura. Now we can convert this. You can see it's written slice, so you can slice. So what actually it means? So how 3D printer work? So 3D printer will start printing single layer, and again it will start all the layers on the top of that layer. So that's why we call it slice. So here on the right you can see we have different stuff. So first we have the layer height. So it's zero point 0.2, it's selected. We have 0 0.1 to 0 0.08, 0.1. So we will understand what is layer height. So what's the layer height in 3D printing? If we select, so just imagine this is one layer. Okay. So if we change the color to that, and this is a second layer, and this will be the third layer. So these are three layers that my 3D printer printed. So what is layer height? So layer height is the height of each layer. So if I selected 0 point, so this will be 0 0.2. This will be 0 0.2. This will be 0 0.2. So this is the layer height. So basically layer height will be like if you want a very finished product, so you will always use 0.12 or 0.08 because it will be more finished product. It looks like finished and it will be more clear. And second, the stuff that we have to look at is infill. So you can see it's 100%. So there is another. So you can see the infill density. So if you select 0%, so the model will be empty from inside. It's 0%. If you select 5%, 10%, 30, 25, 20%, and even you select 70%, you can see the difference. So how strong you will be, how your prototype or your model. So generally it depends upon the application. If you want to make something, the stuff that are going to use in the daily life, so you have to always print like higher, like 70 or 100%. And if you just want to make a prototype or something, like we call it, it's like a showpiece, so use 20%, 30% is enough. You can use 20%, or like 30% is enough, or 40% is enough. So I will show you what's the difference between these stuff. Now after that we have a support. Support means that if you need, or your 3D printer need the support to make your model, because sometimes I will show you. If you select this and you can move the model here. In this case, there is no need for the support, but if you rotate your model like this, so now your 3D printer needs support to print because the half of the model is in the air. So your 3D printer needs support so that it can print this upper portion on which asset is written. So we always try to use support when it's required. Otherwise, we always uh, arrange our model in that way that there is no need for the support. So I will always print like this, so that there will be no need for the support. And second is adhesion. So if you, it's like a extra layer so that your model will stick to the bed when it's printing. So just we use the same setting. 0 0.2 is the layer height and 100% is, just click on the slice. So it will tell you the time it will take, and the, so you can see it will take 10 hours 13 minutes to print this stuff, and it will take 36 gram of your filament. So it looks like it will take long time. So now you can just play with infill and the layer height. So I will increase the layer height to like 0.28. Just see, the time will definitely will reduce, because we don't need the finished product because it's a prototype. We have to show to some company. It's like 10 or 45 minutes. And if I just reduce the infill to like 40%, if we reduce the infill, because we don't need 100% infill, so you can see the time will definitely going to reduce. So now time is like 8 hours 6 minutes and the material is 30, Just remove the support also and reduce the infill to 20% because we don't need a strong uh, cover because it's just a prototype. So when you do like yeah you can see it's like 7 hour 40 minutes and the material is 29 gram. So you can see yeah you can now you can print, you can save to file, and if you just put a memory card it will directly save to the memory card, and again you can see the preview how your 3D printer going to print. So if we go to the first layer, so this is the first layer you can see, and how you can see the nozzle of the 3D printer. So it will print like this. It will start printing each layer. If I just forward, so yeah, it will print like this. It will, so it will complete the support layer then, and it will start writing this, and it will print. So it, so you can see this is just the first layer. And if I increase the layer from here, like, so you can see it's just printing layer by layer, and at the end you will get your phone cover. So this is how this works. Now, when you just save to this your file, and you will get G code. This will actually convert your STL file into G code, and you can directly put the memory card into your 3D printer, and it will print. And it will take 7 and 40 minutes. It's ready. You can just put the memory card to 3D printer and you can print this model. But before that, you can see there's one issue there. The inner part of it is not connected with the body. Yeah, it can be printed, but problem is that it will not be connected. So this is the best stuff about 3D printing, is that yeah, you can go back to any stage and you can change. So I will change this so that it will be connected, or I will remove the inner part. I would like to thank Sardar Charanjit Singh Channi, Chancellor, City University, Mr. Manbir Singh, Managing Director, City University, Dr. Harsh Sadawati, Vice Chancellor, City University, and to all my colleagues, and special thanks to Media Department for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.